Martha Mary Reagan held her dying husband's hand, some 40 years her senior, a proud and modest man. In 20 years of wedded bliss, he loved his Mary so. This union saw a family, 4 boys were seen to grow. The first 3 boys were big and strong, tall, solid and stout, but the 4th and youngest was a wimp. In looks, he had missed out. Reagan cast his dimming eyes towards his loving wife and whispered thanks to her for all the good times in his life. But tell me, darling Mary, please lay it on the line. That skinny little bloke of ours, is he really mine? Mary held his trembling hand and whispered in his ear, yes, my love, he is your son. Rest assured and have no fear. Reagan closed his dimming eyes. Life faded from his face. Mary took a long, deep breath and said, oh, saving grace. Thank God he's gone with peace of mind and still with faith in me. Gone. And thank the Lord he didn't ask about the other 3. We were fortunate enough to go to Ireland about 30 years ago now. Time slips by. But there was a beautiful singer down there, only a little place like Blighty out here. And he was a magnificent singer, but he sang my favourite song, Danny Boy. At every wedding, at every party, at every funeral, the whole lot, he sang Danny Boy. And anyway, he came along this night, he said, I'm not singing Danny Boy tonight, I've changed my song. That's what you've sang it every year for 10 years. Yes, he said, but I'm changing tonight. Now, he was a beautiful singer, this fella, but he's the worst mathematician in the world. He couldn't add up 1 and 1. At any rate, he started his new song. There'll be 10 green bottles hanging on the wall, 10 green bottles hanging on the wall, and if 1 green bottle should accidentally fall, there'd be, oh, Danny Boy. We had a lovely time in Ireland. They tell jokes on themselves all the time, which is good, and we tell jokes on ourselves, that's good. Paddy and Mary had 18 kids, and Mary said to Paddy, she said, if I have another baby, she said, I'll hang myself. Paddy said, Mary, he said, if you have another baby, he said, I'll hang myself. And sure and we got on 9 months today, another baby arrived. And here's Paddy up on top of the closet with a rope around his neck and tied to the ceiling, and Mary's down below going, go on, jump, she said, jump. You said you were going to jump, 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 she said. Anyway, after a while, Paddy undid the knot and got down off the stream. She said, you coward, you said you were going to jump. Why didn't you jump? Well, he said, I just had a thought. He said, I might have been hanging the wrong man. And Murphy always went for a holiday every year, but he said, things have got to change this year. He said, it's going to change. He said, 3 years ago, went to Rome. He said, and Mary had a baby, he said. 2 years ago, went to Paris and Mary had a baby, he said. Last year went to Barcelona and Mary had a baby, he said. Well, what's going to be different this time? Well, he said, I'm going to take her with me this time. These are a few Irish jokes together, and then there was the poor old drunk, and he staggered down the aisle of the church and fell into the confessional. Well, the priest cleared his throat a few times and nothing happened, so he tapped on the door, on the wall. And the drunk said, it's no good, he said. There's no paper on this side either. And then there was a taxi driver from Waima had to go to Echuca and pick up this nun. So we went over and picked her up, and anyway, he couldn't take his eyes off her. And she said, what are you looking at? Well, he said, you know, I've always had a thing about me, so I'd love to kiss a nun. Well, she said, there's 2 rules. You've got to be a Catholic and you've got to be married. He said, yes, we've got to be single, rather. He said, yes, that's right. He said, I'm that. All right, you turn to the side street. And she gave him one real walloper of a kiss enough to last him for the rest of his life. So all right, keep going, she said. So I got going, and he started to cry. She said, what's the matter with you now? Well, he said, I sinned. He said, I'm not. He said, I'm a Jew. He said, and I'm married. She said, well, that doesn't matter. My name's Fred, and I'm going to a fancy dress ball.